Donald Trump's campaign manager Corey Lewandowski joins the president in Nevada this weekend, just days after being embroiled in controversy for mocking a 10-year-old disabled illegal immigrant girl on live television. The pair, along with several other staffers, landed in Las Vegas Saturday, where the president is scheduled to give a speech to the Nevada Republican Party and attend a roundtable on tax reform. The trip comes after Lewandowski denied the claims he was mocking the disabled immigrant girl and said he did not owe her an apology for his womp womp remark that sparked outrage. However, the former campaign manager claimed he was really mocking a liberal who attempted to politicize children with his biting comment on Fox News Tuesday. Trump tweeted ahead of the 4-hour journey, heading to Nevada to talk trade and immigration with supporters. Country's economy is stronger than ever before with numbers that are getting better by the week. Tremendous potential, and trade deals are coming along well. Lewandowski also said he doesn't owe the child an apology. An apology? I owe an apology to the children whose parents are putting them in a position that is forcing them to be separated, he told Fox News Wednesday morning. He went on to say an apology was owed to children whose parents were killed by illegal immigrants. We owe an apology to Jamiel Shaw and Brian Terry and Kate Steinle's family who have allowed those individuals to be killed by illegal aliens. The American people owe an apology to those people, he said. He dismissed the matter as fake news. Lots of fake news today. I mocked a liberal who attempted to politicize children as opposed to discussing the real issue, which is fixing a broken immigration system. It's offensive that the MSM doesn't want to talk about the fact these policies were started under Obama, Lewandowski wrote on Twitter. His comments come just a day after Fox News host Laura Ingraham called the children detention centers essentially summer camps. Donald Trump's former campaign chief rolled his eyes and said womp womp when Democratic strategist Zach Bitconis shared the horrific story on Tuesday evening. I read today about a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome who was taken from her mother and put in a cage, Bitconis began. But before he could finish, Lewandowski merely replied, womp, womp. Lewandowski returned to Fox News Wednesday morning to defend his comments. My comment was specifically about Zach trying to politicize the use of children as a political football in this discussion. Because the law is very clear, when parents commit crimes, by coming into this country, regardless of who their children are, they are separated, because we are a nation of laws, he said. He was pressed about his womp womp remark and whether it was directed toward the girl with Down syndrome. I don't know the young girl that Zach referenced, Lewandowski said. I was mocking Zach, a liberal Democrat National Committee activist who is doing nothing but politicizing the issues. Share this article. Share. He added that, if we are going to talk about children and illegal immigration, let's talk about Kate Steinle and Jamiel Shaw, who were permanently separated from their families because they were killed by illegal immigrants. Let's talk about Brian Terry and his family, the border agent who was killed, a police officer killed on the border and whose son was shot on the face in his stoop in California by an illegal immigrant, and Kate Steinle. Let's talk about families permanently separated because the mainstream media has been so outrageous about this. Shaw was a Los Angeles teenager killed in May 2008 by Pedro Espinoza, an illegal immigrant who had just been released from jail. Shaw's shooting sparked controversy and political debate over Los Angeles' status as a sanctuary city. Steinle was killed in July 2015 by Jose Inez Garcia Zarate, a Mexican national unlawfully residing in the United States. United States Border Patrol agent Brian Terry was killed in December 2010, and his death brought the ATF's gun walking program under heavy scrutiny. In the interview Tuesday night, he was asked in the moment about his womp womp comment. Did you just say womp womp to a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome being separated from her mother? Bitconis asked, clearly disgusted. How dare you? How absolutely dare you, sir? How dare you? Lewandowski tried to talk over Bitconis, saying, what I said is you can pick anything you want, the bottom line is clear. The clip was quickly shared on Twitter by multiple outlets, and many high-profile figures didn't hold back to share their anger with the Fox News commentator. "There is no low to which this coward Corey Lewandowski won't sink," Megyn Kelly tweeted. "This man should not be afforded a national platform to spew his hate." Meghan McCain called the clip so horrible, even by Lewandowski standards. Columnist John Podhoretz wrote, "Womp womp will be the sound Corey Lewandowski's soul makes as it descends to hell. I hope there is a hell just for Corey Lewandowski," added Julia Wick. Actress Mary McCormack also chimed in, asking, "What have we become?" Corey Lewandowski mocked a 10 years old with Down syndrome who was taken from her mother. She wrote, "Talk about a special place in hell. Where is the AdGop? Retweet this until they're forced to look at themselves. Corey Lewandowski is simply doing as our president does, making fun of those who can't defend themselves," added Nick Campanella. "This is the result of it was just a joke. And I'm sure this is too. And I'm sure Republicans will defend this. And I'm sure nothing will happen." Ingraham was also criticized this week after she called immigration detention centers for children essentially summer camps. The Fox News host was discussing Donald Trump's policy to separate immigrant children from their parents when she made the controversial comment on Monday. As more illegal immigrants are rushing the border, more kids are being separated from their parents, she said on the Ingraham angle. And temporarily housed at what are, essentially, summer camps. Ingraham's words horrified many after pictures were released showing immigrant children lined up in a series of cages created by metal fencing at detention centers. The host then tried to backtrack on those statements towards the end of the show, responding to the backlash on social media in real time. "Apparently there are a lot of people very upset because we referred to some of the detention facilities tonight as essentially like summer camps," said Ingraham. The San Diego Union-Tribune today described their facilities as essentially like what you would expect at a boarding school. "So I will stick to there are some of them like boarding schools." Fox News has since released a separate statement regarding the controversy, saying Ingraham's very personal, on-the-ground commitment to the plight of impoverished and abandoned children speaks for itself. So too does her strong belief in a common-sense, legal immigration system, which will continue to be a focus of her show, she added. Fox News will never tolerate or give in to attempts to silence diverse viewpoints by agenda-driven intimidation efforts. Laura Ingraham, like Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity, would happily defend genocide if the Trump administration asked them to do so, he wrote. Author Anthony Bresnikan joked, "Laura Ingraham isn't going to hell. She's going to an intense sauna." Many commenters expressed confusion at Ingraham's vision for summer camps. Yes, who else remembers singing Kumbaya, roasting marshmallows, cage living, and a friendly game of let's never see your mommy and daddy again, wrote Danny Derany. Another joked about what a summer camp would look like if it was run by Ingraham. Your child will learn how to properly fold a foil emergency blanket and how to decorate the inside of a cage, J.D. Durkin quipped. Sign up now for a special lesson in basketball dribbling and mocking school shooting survivors. Act fast, he added, quoting Ingraham's recent controversies with Hog and NBA star LeBron James. Others called on the public to boycott Ingraham, while some challenged the Fox News host to send her own children to the detention centers. In May, Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced a zero-tolerance policy in which all those apprehended entering the U.S. illegally, including those seeking asylum, would be criminally charged, which generally leads to children being separated from their parents. It was revealed that nearly 2,000 children were separated from adults at the border between mid-April and the end of May. Those children are now living in detention centers along the U.S.-Mexico border. Trump's policy has drawn condemnation from medical professionals, religious leaders, and immigration activists who warn that some children could suffer lasting psychological trauma. It has since been revealed that Trump administration officials are sending babies and other young children forcibly separated from their parents to at least 3 tender-aged shelters in South Texas. Lawyers and medical providers who have visited the Rio Grande Valley shelters described playrooms of crying preschool-age children in crisis. The government also plans to open a fourth shelter to house hundreds of young migrant children in Houston, where city leaders denounced the move Tuesday. Meanwhile, NBC has reported that a new desert tent city is reportedly preparing for more than 4,000 children and plans to house 20 to a tent.